In this course, you'll see videos of instructors enthusiastically sharing their knowledge of concepts and relationships in mathematics, but they will also stop and summarize the material with procedures, processes, steps to take to keep your homework articulate and organized. I sat down with Brother Rich and asked him to share with us some of the history of the math program at BYU Idaho and why these procedures have such an importance. This is Brother Rich, the founding director of the Math Study Center at BYU Idaho, formerly known as Rick's College. We have a few questions for him and would like to know about the history of this program and how it developed.
You know, when I was hired here many years ago, there were all across the United States and even around the world, many students were struggling with fundamental concepts in math, arithmetic and foundational algebra skills. And 40% of entering college freshmen were not ready to handle college-level mathematics. And at the time, Rick's College, which is now obviously BYU Idaho, was not much different. And many students who would take these courses at the collegiate level would fail these classes and would have to retake them. And again, our statistics here at Rick's College were not much different, in part because we didn't have a developmental math program at the time. We had a math department, but not specifically a department that focuses on helping students who struggle with math.
How is the program different now?
You know, we have the tremendous support of the administration and the Board of Trustees. And unlike many institutions where money and investment is a primary factor, our institution is primarily concerned with doing what is best for students. With that being stated, we have unprecedented support, and we truly have one of the top developmental math programs in the nation. As I stated, historically, up to 80% of students fail these developmental math courses across the world, and particularly, here in the United States. Now, in our program, over 90% of our students pass these courses, and we have phenomenal success ratios and results.
What is your background and training in that helped you to make such a program?
I took a lot of math courses, and while I did not study math as my primary emphasis, I have a strong background in math, but my primary emphasis was developmental studies. And as we've discussed already, development is opening up people's capabilities and possibilities and focusing on their growth and development intellectually, spiritually, and even physically. And so that's my background. I've married it to math and how we can help students who struggle get better at math.
What sets our program apart from others?
Our program is phenomenal. The first thing I would say is the support that we have here at this institution, as I've stated previously. But primarily, there are four things that truly set our program apart. One is we have good teachers. It's critical to have a great teacher who knows how to explain things down at a level where students can understand them. The second thing is our curriculum. We have taken the time to break things down into their simplest form of understanding. We call these developmental processes, and these help students digest the material much easier and much more efficiently. A third aspect of our program is that we believe in marrying good teaching with good tutoring. And so we have tutoring support available to all of our students. So when they are working outside of the classroom, they're able to get assistance with their math homework and their math questions. And finally, and maybe most important of all, is that we have very strong student expectations. We expect you as students to rise to the level of the math. We are not going to water these concepts down to your level of understanding. We want you to be raised up. This makes you better. This validates that what you're learning can be utilized in the world that you want to work in and perform in.
Can you tell us a little bit more about developmental processes? What are those and how do they work?
It's a great question. Developmental processes could best be described as scaffolding. If you look at a building that's being constructed, you'll often see levels of scaffolds, metal framework outside of the building that allows the people to construct this massive structure. Developmental processes are step-by-step processes that are a succinct framework that allow you to succeed at various math problems and construct the math that you need to based on these 4 or 5 or 3-step processes. A critical aspect of developmental processes is we want to teach you one concept that allows you to do a lot of problems, not teach you a lot of processes to do each individual problem. So when you learn a developmental process, you're learning how to do an entire assignment or a chapter's worth of work versus just one problem at a time.